This is Three Down Bros. After the Grey Cup, the year 2024 is over. The Grey Cup against two teams that I just don't like, honestly. But regardless, it was a close game and some interesting calls and some interesting bounces that we're gonna kick around around the with the bros. So, Greg, what are your high-level thoughts for the game?
High level thoughts for this game are, you know what? Toronto played the type of defense that I've been begging the Lions to come up with, the fast, the aggressive, the not intimidated by the Winnipeg mystique, the Brady Oliveira factor, whatever it is. They came up, they stood up, they faced up the Winnipeg offense. And offensively, you come in with Nick Arbuckle, dare I say journeyman, or even, is that even overstating his role? Or what his status lately? But Nick Arbuckle and that Toronto, I guess, backup quarterback offense, they figured out the rush three cover nine, which the Lions have not figured out, which was at the beginning of their downfall. That's it for me. Rowan.
Yeah, you're right. So first of all, if you're joining us online, great, thanks for joining us. Feel free to post in the chat any thoughts or comments that you might have. I would love to hear from you. Second, I just wanted to raise a toast to my bros for the end of another season, the 2024 season. So, cheers, guys.
Cheers, man.
Cheers, guys.
Well, I see that. Oh, Lions.
Lions, man.
All right.
It is cold out here.
Tell us where you are, Greg.
I am somewhere between, where are we? Between Lisbon and Porto, Portugal, here in the middle of the Mediterranean, and it's 4 o'clock in the morning here, and it's a little chilly. So I'm just trying to hold this device I've got steady here.
Okay, wonderful. Glad that you're enjoying that. So,
oh yeah, we stayed up to the wee hours watching that Grey Cup game. 6 o'clock in the morning, I think I finished it.
Okay, cool.
Hang on, I'm going to do that. There we go.
So my thoughts. Toronto came to play. You could see they knew they didn't have their quarterback, Chad Kelly. Again, I don't like him, but he was a key part of the team, and he was gone, and they stepped up. They knew that their offense was going to be weaker. But in spite of that, the receivers, stepped up. Defense completely stepped up. They forced so many turnovers. Man, it was 27 points off of turnovers.
Crazy.
There's no way Winnipeg can win with that. And that shows me which team had the heart and the intensity, which team really wanted it badly. You could see on the defense, they were rallying to the ball. They were fast. They were hitting hard. So many plays you would see the Winnipeg player come up, and they're hurting. those hits were hard. So it just robs the will out of you when you keep getting hit hard like that.
Mm-hmm.
So.
It was nice to see those Winnipeg receivers get frustrated. Loved it. Loved every minute of it.
I mean, as with Arthur, I didn't like either team, but between the two, I was thinking, I don't like Toronto more, so I was kind of hoping that Winnipeg would pull it off.
Can't believe you, Roland. Can't believe you. I can't. And I know you. I know. I was with you last night, and I was like, "You sure?" They were going to call Winnipeg a dynasty. Now they can't call them a dynasty.
Well, okay, we're going to get to that. That's actually one of our talking points. But initially, so last week, the way Winnipeg played against the Rough Riders last week, I thought, that's it. That's it for Toronto. Without Chad Kelly, and the way Winnipeg was playing, it's a done deal, right? But they started the game first half. Toronto was in it. They were close. They were in it the whole first half. Their offense wasn't like spectacular, but they actually had more time of possession in the first half than Winnipeg. Winnipeg was just flat, but the score was still really close. Even into the third quarter, and then the fourth quarter, I think the dam just broke. that you just can't maintain such a difference in the level of intensity and not have something break. So
I'm gonna just give you one. Like what I noticed is like the first series Winnipeg had, they won the toss, right? So they received first.
yeah,
Their first offensive script, I think they had 7 O linemen, and then one guy goes totally procedure off. Like he just goes in. Like I don't know what happened, right?
Okay.
So of course he gets subbed out, and they have 6 guys, and then like I don't think they didn't get much first down, and then second down they went deep.
yeah,
And then it was incomplete. Like Toronto covered it well, and I'm like, wow. Like, and then I don't think they rushed Oliveira. I mean, he didn't really
yeah.
get going. I was like, yeah, maybe you're like, okay, we're gonna beat Toronto via the air, but
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, a lot of chatter on the Twitterverse on this. With Oliveira being the MOP, and the way he ran, and even the few times that they ran him, he was a beast, right? So
he had 2 long runs, but most of the other ones were short gains, right? And he had I think had a 7 or 9 yard run. He had a couple of ones that he broke.
yeah, he had 11 carries for 84 yards, average 7.6, longest was 35.
Yeah, that 35-yard one was huge, and he had another one was 15, 20, and then he had one around 9. Then after that, they were stuffing him. Toronto, you got to give them a lot of credit. You know what they do? They're rotating 8 D linemen. Does that sound familiar?
Yeah.
But the Lions rotation, we don't see this.
Well,
but you got to add those 2 things that we talked about at the top of the show.
yes.
Yeah.
Fast, aggressive, and what did Roland say? Heart and intensity. I'm sure that's what that heart and intensity that Roland talked about. I'm sure is the same level he's been begging the Lions defense to have as well.
Yeah.
I mean, they went wire to wire with that hard hitting that they're not going to stop. It was just that's the kind of football I've been yearning for all year here defensively.
And you got to be an Argo fan then, Greg.
Well, it's like you guys, right? It's not which team I like better; it's which team I hated less, right? Right. And as much as I've been trumpeting Lucky, leaving here, that was the only kind of favor Winnipeg had with me was Lucky Whitehead was there, but that jersey was enough to sway me to the other one. Nick Arbuckle, just the story that surrounded him coming into this game, that was enough to sway me to be an Argo fan for 3 hours.
All right.
Roland, that should have been VA's story.
I know.
That should have been VA's story.
I know. That's what I was hoping, but this ain't the year. Actually, let's go in. We have a bunch of interesting questions that we have lined up. So if you're online, let us know your thoughts. First question: did Arbuckle deserve the Grey Cup MVP given the way he played? Okay, let's look at his numbers. 26 out of 37, 26 completions out of 37, 252 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, average 6.8, longest 36. He also ran twice for 11 yards. So the question to both of you guys, let me put a context into this. So he got the Grey Cup MVP. A lot of people were saying there were a lot of other players that played a lot better. Willie Jefferson was a big, a lot of mentions in the Twitterverse. But
up to the third quarter, yes.
Yeah, they're not
into the beginning part of the fourth quarter when he had the interception, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Then maybe.
Okay. All right. So your thoughts? Did Arbuckle deserve a Grey Cup MVP? I mean, these were pedestrian numbers. Of course, he was a backup QB. Didn't have much play the whole season, and then he's thrust into the spotlight. But is that MVP caliber playing?
Greg, what do you think?
Well, backup QB, like I said, I'm not sure if that mantle should be hung on him. I mean, he's third string, maybe. I mean, was it? I can't remember his name now. He's number 11 on the Argonauts.
Cameron Dukes.
Yeah, Mr. Dukes. I mean, the guy that beat us opening season. He got to start over Arbuckle, right? Arbuckle's got the veteran experience, but MVP to me is most valuable player. If you take that player out of a game, the team would fall apart. And I think, and I texted you guys during the game, Winton McManus. I think number 48 for Toronto. He deserves the MVP in my book. Arbuckle really 27 points scored by. Well, okay, it's 27 points off turnovers, but if it's not Winton McManus, to me that whole entire defense earned the MVP title. But no, I don't think it should have been Arbuckle. I mean, it's a nice fairy tale ending, if you want to be all touchy-feely about it. But no, if my head, think it was my head and not my heart, it should not have been Arbuckle.
All right.
Because again, if you pulled him out of the game, put Dukes in, as those same pedestrian numbers, probably the same outcome, right?
Yeah, if Dukes was playing, would it have been the same? I guess. Who knows? There's a comment from Morbital. I may or may not have started shit talking this Bombers players late in the game. You're not a dynasty. Okay, we're actually we're going to be talking about that. So we'll dive deeper into that. But good what is it, preview or foreshadowing? Foreshadowing. Okay, we're going to touch on that.
English literature podcast is great.
All right. Same question to Arthur. Did Arbuckle deserve Grey Cup MVP? And those online, let us know your thoughts too. Did Arbuckle deserve the Grey Cup MVP?
There's a disturbing trend among the 3-9 bros in the past couple of months, as Greg and I are agreeing, which is gives me pause. Gives me pause. It's a sanity check that I'm gonna. Yeah, the McManus has got to be the MVP. I agree, Greg. 100%. The middle linebacker.
Yeah.
He was setting the tone. He was hustling. He was laying hits on the receivers. He was hitting Brady Oliveira. He was all over the field. Wow, what a middle linebacker. Man, we need one in DC.
Yeah, we need someone like that. Yeah.
Has that been mentioned on this show? Yeah.
All right, Roland.
All right.
What do you
think? I guess maybe the stars or the moons are aligning, but I agree with you guys too.
Oh, no way. No way.
All right.
I read the toast.
Okay, a toast for.
But we will diverge when we start talking about kickers.
I'm sure. Okay,
anything to do with the kicking game.
All right. We'll get there. Next one's going to be interesting, and then we'll get to the dynasty part. The lucky fumble on the kickoff return. So that was he caught the ball. He hasn't secured it. He starts moving forward, and then, the ball falls off. Even before he got hit. What are your thoughts on that? Because he also fumbled the week before. It didn't cost the team, but this yesterday's fumble cost them a touchdown. Actually, that was Toronto's first touchdown. So, what do you think? Actually, another comment from Morbital. I'll just read this first, and then we'll go into it. As a BC Lions fan first, but in a family with deep roots in Regina, I couldn't stomach cheering for the West if it meant cheering for the Bombers. Plus the girlfriend is from Toronto.
No,
okay.
There you go.
Yes. Wow. Okay, Morbital. That's an obvious answer.
All right. Who wants to go first? Let's go with Arthur first. The lucky fumble on the kickoff return.
I was showing you the tweet last night, Roland, because he had the yellow gloves to begin with for the first half of the game. I think they're going to say that those were it was a uniform violation, so they had to take it off, and he put on his other gloves. And I think it was in the second half, if I remember that tweet properly.
He switched gloves after the fumble?
No, at the half.
Oh, at the half. Okay.
So that new gloves is a different. It must be a different type of gloves. I guess it's different than just the color. So it wasn't his. I feel for Lucky, love Lucky. Greg and I have his jersey.
Yeah.
It was I hate to say it. It was a pivotal. It was a close game, and then, what do we talk about all year about special teams? We're like, okay, either you have a game breaker like Janarian Grant. Mind you, he had some nice returns for Toronto yesterday. You get a game breaker or like a Mara Alford, or you get someone like, Lucky, probably his best days as a returner are behind him, but
Yeah.
he's your reliable guy. He's gonna play it smart. He can sub in as a receiver. So, but is he like the most electric returner? And maybe in his prime for sure, 100%, right?
Yeah.
After some injuries and that, it's hard, right? But you needed him to not make a mistake because that's what you have him there for.
Yes.
As it pains me to say it, he needed not to make a mistake.
Yeah.
And it's not all on him that they lost.
Yes.
But it was at a critical point because the game was there and it started to slip away.
Yeah.
I mean, there was other things, the block punt, things like that, and
Yeah.
Caleros' finger, but it was a contributing factor.
Yeah.
Gregory, what do you think?
Actually, before we go there, I'm
Oh.
going to read a comment from Todd S. Todd S. goes, I'm probably going to nod off soon. Just got home from driving from Vancouver to Edmonton. Just saying I'm glad I found your podcast. We'll continue to tune in to Three Down Bros. Thanks so much, Todd. We appreciate
Thank
it.
you, Todd. Thank you.
Yeah.
Toast to Todd.
Yeah. Okay. Toast. Toast to Todd.
Unless only if you're a Canucks fan, sorry, but there you go.
But yeah, no, it was. Thank you for those kind words.
I'm glad it did. I saw quickly there. I'm going to nod off. I'm glad he gave us a reason why.
Not because of us. Yeah. Morbital says the mug in his Todd's profile picture. Nice. It's a BC Lions mug. Todd says thanks. It's Lucky Lager. Good night. All right. Thanks, Todd. Good night. And yeah, we'll catch you
Good
next
day, Todd.
time.
Glad you got home safe.
Yeah.
Morbital goes. That felt like a huge moment. Talking about the lucky fumble.
Yeah.
That was his TSN turning point.
See, Morbital and I agree. See, I love this Morbital guy. Glad he found our podcast too.
Is this your burner account, Greg?
No. Because come on, Morbital says some very intelligent things, and you know, even if I had a fake account,
No,
I can't
that's
take
true.
my
Yeah,
intelligence
that's
level.
true.
Okay.
That's true.
Come on,
That's
you know that.
That's true. That's true.
They're bringing out the breakfast buffet here, guys. I'm going to have to move soon. This is
Okay.
You're gonna have some of the breakfast buffet on live stream, man. Come on.
No. I'm going to go grab some sleep after this. I gotta stay here. But yeah, I'm like Arthur. I feel for Lucky too. Like, watching that, and I was simulcasting with my wife because she was at the game, and she was videotaping, and just as they had I guess a slight edge in the TV delay, but she just comes up with this, oh no, and I'm like, what? And then as soon as I said what, I saw Lucky's ball kicks out of his hand right into the Argos, and I'm like, oh, and yeah, we always talk about special teams needing to change the momentum. That's the third part of the complementary football, and yeah, I gotta. I think the Stars are back where they should be, Arthur. I have to disagree. As much as I'd like to say it's the gloves, whatever, the close-up, when I saw it on here, it's just, I think that cursed running before you secure the ball, and I think that just comes down to Lucky's. That's Lucky, his want to. There was
Greg,
a hole there. And
I was trying to give him an out. You just took it away.
I know, but I've got to
know.
call like I see it. I'm sure Lucky would appreciate our honesty, but there was an opening there, and they were giving him that 5 yards. Even the TSN guy said, the guy that recovered the fumble gave him the 5 yards. It just caused him to mess it up a little, and I think it was just his knee hitting his arm. Just bad luck because he was taken off before he secured that ball, because it was in the cradle.
Yeah.
And then out it came, and
I didn't see the knee hitting. I just saw the ball come out. Yeah.
I just felt horrible for Lucky. I mean, any other Winnipeg guy, I would have been jumping up and down cheering.
Yeah.
But it was Lucky, man. And Lucky, if you're listening, which you should be, we still got your back. And you know what? It's just bad football.
That hurt. Even though we didn't like the Bombers, but that did hurt.
Yeah, but that was, as Morbital said, which is not my burner account. Morbital, the football genius. It was my TSN turning point, because that was Toronto took the lead and they never looked back from it. I mean, and it was like you said, Ron, their first touchdown. And, you know, good play call and, you know, good aggressive running. But yeah, that was the turning point for me was that
Yeah.
touchdown off that.
So
Now, was that the first points off turnover for Winnipeg too? I mean, against Winnipeg for the Toronto
I
team?
can't remember now.
Can't remember.
But
Maybe they had a field goal, but I
Oh,
mean,
no,
it
no,
was
no,
their
no,
it was their
field goal.
touchdown. It was their touchdown.
Yeah,
first touchdown.
yeah, that was their first touchdown, definitely.
And that just relaxed the team.
Yeah.
Okay, we got in the
Yeah.
end zone.
They got a touchdown.
Yeah,
Offensively, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. The one thing I'm gonna add is that if this was a freak thing, then it's fine. But it happened. He fumbled last week too. So given that he fumbled last week, and afterwards he said that he felt so bad, he went to the to the bench, and everyone was just saying, "Don't worry, we got your back. We're gonna and the defense held, right? So then they got his back. But
Well,
then
they were up huge that game when he fumbled.
Yeah.
So
But
Saskatchewan did get a touchdown, but they were still up like 3 scores. So
yeah, but but for it to happen again, I think
yeah,
that's going to be tough. Yeah.
It's gonna be tough.
So, okay, before we get to our next question,
I'm throwing a flag roll and piling on, man.
Hey, at least I gave an out.
True,
at least
true.
I gave an out.
True.
Okay, guys, I gave an out. You
gave it out. Hey, I
right.
complimented him. It was his desire over his.
Yeah,
over
true.
His,
True.
yeah, come
Wow.
on. Oh my God.
I know, and you gave him the need to.
What does this football genius Morbital have to say?
Okay, he said, I had more fun than I thought I would. Was my first Grey Cup. The key interceptions were all towards our end. Oh, that's nice. Where we have front row seats in the end zone. Oh, nice seats. Yeah,
There
cool.
you go.
And said, cheers to Omar and team for hosting a great Grey Cup festival. Yeah, kudos. And then, Arthur's going to love this. I love that there was a Rouge. Wouldn't have been a complete CFL Grey Cup experience
wouldn't
without
have been a complete CFL Grey Cup.
Morbital.
You like the Rouge now too, Greg?
I've never complained about the Rouge, just when it scores.
Oh, okay, got it.
All right.
See,
okay.
like with the Rouge, I mean, Lucky did. Oh, okay. The Winnipeg returner at the moment that point was scored. You know, he, like I talked about, I think it was, or not last week, the week before, like if you concede, then you get penalized the point. You know, the returner went down on a knee, that's saying, I give up. That's the point to the other team.
All right.
That's all I'm saying about that.
All right.
All right.
Okay, let's go.
I'm fine with that too, Greg. I'm fine with that.
Let's go with what Morbital started off with. The next question, is Winnipeg a dynasty? They got to the Grey Cup 5 years in a row. They won the first 2, but then the last 3, they just didn't play up to their caliber. All 3, the last 3 years, they were a lot better in the regular season than they're showing in the Grey Cup. So, yeah. Thoughts? Actually, before we go there, Morbital was adding, regarding the Rouge, it's a mental game tied going into the half. Key Rouge. Okay.
Absolutely. That's what I talked about.
Single point. It does make a difference, right? Okay.
I actually brought up to the bros before we started the show of Orbital that could have been, I considered that a turning point too.
Oh,
Not the key one, but the other
Okay.
one. But
Come
All
on.
right.
Tie game at the
Morbital,
half. Come on.
Okay, let's talk about dynasty now. Is Winnipeg a dynasty? So there's a lot of talk in the Twitterverse too, and the two sides were, one side is, well, to make it into the Grey Cup 5 years in a row, that's a dynasty. The
Not
other
in
side,
9-team league.
the other side,
my thoughts exactly, Arthur.
the other side,
Exactly, but we'll
the
get
other
there,
side
we'll get
says, you got to win. You don't win, it doesn't count. Okay, so.
How about you go first, Roland? You're almost making your point. So where do you
Well,
stand,
no, I'm
Roland?
about doing two sides.
Where do you stand?
I say no, they're not a dynasty.
All right.
Because the biggest game you can't lay an egg. So the fact that they laid an egg on the biggest game, so like you said, you can get to the Grey Cup, but if you don't win, that doesn't mean anything. Morbital has an addition. Toronto has won the same number of Grey Cups as the Blue Bombers in the last few years. Are the Argos a dynasty? That's a good point. Good point. Okay, who goes next? Let's go with Arthur next. Are they a dynasty?
Are they a dynasty? Hell no. You gotta win the You gotta win. I mean, like, you're a dynasty in the West, but dynasty is attributed to winning championships,
Yeah.
right? So the Oilers won in the mid '80s 4 out of 5 years, right? That Steve Smith own goal,
Yeah.
that probably that knocked them out in the second round. But then they won what I think that was the middle of the third year, and then they won 2 more. So that's a dynasty. So I mean, even if Winnipeg won yesterday, you want to win 3 out of 5. It's
Yeah.
a loose dynasty,
Yeah.
but
Well, how
when you
many?
lose 3 in a row, then
Yeah.
it's definitely not a dynasty.
How many?
That's a dynasty.
How many times did the Eskimos with Warren Moon and before him?
5 in a row, right,
5 in
Brick?
a row.
5 in a row.
Okay.
Yep, 5 in a row. And my mom's, who's now at the breakfast buffet, she's waving and she's probably mouthing to me, Edmonton Eskimos.
Your mom's already up for the breakfast buffet?
Yeah, well, we got an early tour this morning.
Oh,
So
my.
Okay, comment
Yeah.
from Morbital. Bill Burr maintains the minimum requirement is 3 in a row for Dynasty,
yeah,
and he
so I
tend to agree with him.
It's got to be consecutive.
Oh, yeah,
wins
yeah,
for Dynasty, yeah.
Or like
Minimum-
4 out of 5. If it's 4 out
That's
of
still pretty
5,
good,
it's
yeah.
fine. That's fine.
Yeah,
But
'cause
anything
you
less
still
than
want a
that,
couple
forget it.
consecutive in there, right? Because you could go 2 in
Yeah,
a row,
yeah.
2 in a row. Still consecutive. Detroit, was that a dynasty Stanley Cup wise? I think so. They won a good chunk in the 90s, was it? Whatever.
They didn't
No?
win
Okay.
back to back, right? I mean, Tampa
enough,
Bay
but you-
won 2 in a row, right? Tampa Bay won 2 in
Yeah.
a row, but again, in the NHL or in any, sorry, Greg, major league,
Ouch.
when you have
Norbital, where are you?
when you have a lot of teams winning consecutive champions, it means something. Sorry, in a 9-team league where 6 make the playoffs, and you just need to win 3 games to get a championship, you need to win. Bottom line, because it's too easy. It's too easy to get into the playoffs.
Yeah.
All right, and if you're the Western, if you win and they've won the West, so they just have to play 2 games. They just have to win 2 games in the playoffs, and then they win the cup. Come on. You name me any league, you just have to win 2 games. Or wait, okay, you win 1 game. Okay, if you make it your first in your division, you win 1 game, and then you're in the finals. And then you just win that 1 game, you're in the finals, and you lose. Oh, you're 500 in the playoffs in the last 3 years. You win one, lose one, win one, lose one. You're a dynasty? Come on.
Yeah. So maybe you're right. Maybe they're a Western Dynasty.
Yeah,
Western
I
CFL
mean, that's
dynasty.
obvious, right?
Yeah.
They won the West 5 years in a row.
Yeah. Okay, Greg. I guess I'm guessing you're going to be agreeing.
I'm going to coin a new term. I think I'm going to try to start a tradition on Three Down Bros. Each year, I'm going to coin a new term. My new term this year is dynasty. And I'm again sanity check. I'm going to go with Arthur in a 32-team league like the NFL or 30-plus team league like the NFL. Look at the Buffalo Bills. Look at how many. I mean, to get to as many Super Bowls as they did in a league that big, winning as many playoff rounds as you have to get there. They got there, and I think they lost 3 in a row. No one called them a dynasty, right? Or to get there that many times. And you know what? You can't be called a dynasty 2 in a row, and then you get there 3 more times and you lose. But so no, to me, it's a dynasty, and it couldn't have happened to a better team. I'm sorry, I'm going to get up on my soapbox here.
All right.
Just, to see them get there and lose, it's like I have the same satisfaction as when the New England Patriots got there on that perfect season, and the Giants and relatively unknown Manning quarterback beat them just to put that tarnish on. I am glad I've seen Winnipeg get that tarnish, a 3-peat tarnish. So
2-time great Super Bowl winning Eli Manning.
Yeah, but the first time he was he was the relatively unknown Manning, getting there in the first one, but now he's won more than his brother.
We're
But
equal,
he was
right? Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
he's built a lot less than
Mm. Oh
Peyton.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
anyway,
Understood.
no,
Okay.
Winnipeg the dynasty. That is it.
Let's go to Morbital. So in response to your talking about the Bills, he says they lost 4 in a row. Put some respect on their shame.
Oh,
Uh, and then he
well, I was
says
giving the Victoria kicker a break.
that he's a 49ers fan. They've been in the NFC Championship how many times the last few years? Not even
49ers fan.
close to a dynasty. Just a good team for a few years. And then, with respect to the word dynasty, he says it's like a marketing word now. Same people that calls its weather bomb and atmospheric river, just fall storms.
Hey, Marvel, do you like that game yesterday? Since you're a Niners fan.
I was
Geno Smith,
Arthur,
baby.
Arthur. He's a fan of Three Down Bros. Do not chase him away. I was not
I
bringing up
am
Seahawks
just good
because what
banter.
was
You know,
up,
good
man?
banter.
All right. Let's go to the next question. Okay, this one was had a lot of discussion on the Twitterverse too. So there was in the last play of the third quarter. Okay, let me get Morbital's response. It says, "LOL, that was painful, but Cowboys got rocked
Yeah,
tonight, so that makes it all better."
that's right. That's something that all of us will agree.
I
Right,
can't say
Greg?
too much. There's a table full of Dallas fans that I met earlier this
You,
trip.
yeah,
I'm not
you,
saying nothing.
you better not say anything.
All
Yeah,
right. Okay. So
I was wearing
last
my Seahawks t-shirt when they met me too.
that's okay. At least it's on a Commanders or, anyways.
Yes.
Yeah,
last
yeah.
play of the third quarter, Toronto was going to punt, and then it got blocked. So blocked punt, very timely. At that point, what was the score? At that point, it was Winnipeg was 13, and Toronto was 17.
Yeah.
Okay, so a blocked punt, the ball bounces backwards. They scramble for the ball, but the Winnipeg player shoves the Toronto player out, and he gets called for a penalty. So the penalty is an illegal. What is it? Loose ball.
Illegal
Ball
loose ball.
interference.
Yeah, loose
Yeah,
ball
Loose
interference.
ball
Yeah.
interference.
Yeah, loose ball illegal interference or something like that, right? So that was an automatic first down. So Toronto was given the first down, even though the ball was recovered way behind the line of scrimmage. It was an automatic first down. And what happened afterwards on that drive? So it continues on to the fourth quarter. They didn't score. It got intercepted by Willie Jefferson. But yeah, there was there was a lot of talk about that. Some people were calling saying that this rule should be changed. They didn't earn the first down. Why should they get a first down? Doesn't matter if they recover the ball. It's still not a first down. But the rule says for this type of penalty, it's an automatic first down, just like pass interference. And there's two others. There's four penalties that's an automatic first down. This one, pass interference,
Roughing the passer.
roughing, yeah, unnecessary roughness, and yeah, rough play or something like that. Okay, thoughts? Was this? It was the right call, right call on the field, and no one's
Definitely got blocked in the back going for the ball.
Yeah,
You can't push from the back when
Yeah.
he doesn't have the ball. Yeah,
and even the Winnipeg player admitted, yeah, that was the right call. But is this the right rule? Okay, who wants to go first? Let's go with Greg first.
Definitely the right rule because it affected Winnipeg. No, honestly, definitely the right
You're
rule.
not
because-
biased, right, Greg?
No. I hope it comes up later because I got a whole pile of talk about penalties in Winnipeg. But no, definitely the right rule. I'm not sure. Maybe the punishment or whatever you want to call it, the repercussion needs to be reworked. I don't know, automatic first down from that, but there can be potential injury, which is why I think the repercussions the way it is. Because again, you're going for that fumble, and I got no problem, scrambling around for a fumble. And I've often asked us, here, like, man, can you imagine what could happen to a shoulder? You're just reaching out for a fumble like that, and some 300-pound lineman falls in your arm when you're just reaching out. But scrambling for the ball is one thing. But yeah, when you shove a guy in the back, I mean, look at what happens on a kick return when you block in the back, and it's generally not as I'll use the word aggressive a block or push, as that one was. I mean, you're not expecting that, and that's like the blind side block too. Just those um, potential injuries that can come from that is there. So the right rule, definitely.
Okay.
No bias there. It was the right rule. It was a
Let,
block in the back on a fumble.
okay. Before I get to Arthur, I'm gonna put up Morbital's comment. It's the right rule on first down and second down. So if you question it on third, then look at first and second. So basically, his point is if it's right for first and second down, then it's right for third down too. Okay, good point, Morbital. Arthur, agree or disagree?
All right. So number one, the penalty was warranted. You can't block in the back. It's very dangerous because you're supposed to square up, right? Anything you do in football, you don't have the ball, you can't get tackled from behind, right? That's just not. It's not honorable. So that's very dangerous. So if they're throwing the book at that Winnipeg player, I get it. All right. When I looked at it, my initial thought would be, it's a 10-yard penalty. Replay the down. If it was 2nd and 8, you get a first down. If it was like 3rd and 15, then it's now 3rd and 5. I would have just given a 10-yard penalty, maybe give a 15-yard penalty. I wouldn't do an automatic first down, and it would be spot of the spot of the foul. So where the ball was, it would be spot foul from there. You get 10 or 15 yards from that, right? So obviously they would still have to punt because that's like behind the punter. So that's really far back from the line of scrimmage. So that's my initial for like what the penalty should be.
All right.
Now,
did you change your mind since?
No. Well, no. That's
okay.
that's when I look at the foul, I say it's 10 to 15 yards. Replay the down. No automatic first down, but it's spot of the foul, right? Because at that point it's a loose ball. No one has possession. That's why it's a loose ball. No one has quote unquote possession, so it's the spot foul. Now, all I'm gonna say is, this is a deviation from the archaic, gimmicky, kicking rules of the CFL, where you
had to give the platform, bro.
where you can.
He wants to prod me.
The Lions had a guy. I thought they'd use it. Antwi, right? I'm just gonna kick it 2 inches and fall on it, as long as it's above the line of scrimmage. But I didn't gain the first down, so that's a loose ball. And
right.
You fall on it, you get possession. So to me, how I look at it is, it's just a continuation of these archaic rugby-ish. Rugby is our foundation, and we'll follow along with it. And this doesn't make any sense.
Okay,
It doesn't make, like, the automatic first down in that situation does not make any sense.
Okay, let me read Morbital's comment. All players' safety fouls should be automatic first down. Just my opinion. Game needs to be safe. So I think
Thanks, Morbital.
I'm going to respond to Arthur, and I think it's not the same. So you're saying that it's an automatic first down because it's a loose ball. Actually, it's not an automatic first down because it's a loose ball. Remember, there were four penalties that are automatic first down. 3 of them are player safety issues, unnecessary roughness, rough play, and this one too. This one falls under player safety. So it's not because it's a loose ball. So I think comparing it to the anti play is not accurate. So
I'm compared it because it's a kicking situation. That's the only thing I'm comparing it to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not. There was no foul in Antwi thing. But
this is so. This is not a loose ball situation. It's a player safety issue, and like what Greg said, right? When you're scrambling for the ball, and if you don't have strict rules like that, players can get hurt, and that's what Morbital is saying too. So I think given that's in my mind strengthens the argument that this is this is the right rule.
On automatic first down.
Yeah.
So it was a reckless penalty for that Winnipeg player to take.
Yeah.
Because even if Toronto recovers, it's Winnipeg ball, right?
Exactly.
It's third down.
That's right. Let him.
So why would he have to do that? Why would he have to do that? He
Exactly.
wouldn't. So that's just reckless. It's just.
Yeah.
But don't get me started on Winnipeg's tactics. I have another
There was-
thing, but I think I was sharing with you, Roland.
Okay,
I was
okay.
sharing with you, Roland. Another Winnipeg tactic. I don't know if we don't have time. I don't think we have time to bring it up. But
Well, let's see. Let's go over.
Yeah,
Let's finish ours. We'll move on. Okay. Morbital says, "I played football, so there's that perspective too. I appreciate focus on safety." Yeah, and good point, Morbital. And there was a couple tweets I saw too where they said, players since young are coached. If there's a fumble, go for the ball. Don't go for the player. Right. So this guy was going for the player to prevent him from getting the ball.
well, he kind of went through the player. He was going for the ball. The player was in his way. He just shoved him out of the way.
Yeah. So okay, we'll move on. So next question. I wonder what I should, let's say 8, 9, 12. I'm going to jump to.
So it's the Grey Cup, Roland. We're going longer, man.
Okay.
It's the Grey Cup, man. I mean, this is.
Kadeem Carey was interviewed, and in his interview, he started talking about Calgary and Dave Dickinson.
Oh, that was Greg's favorite coach.
So Toronto has been called Calgary East, right? Because there's so many ex-Calgary. Ex-Calgary players, ex-Calgary coaches in Toronto, and they're doing well, as we can see. I mean, we don't like them, but they're doing well. But
way to curry favor with the Toronto Argonauts fans.
Hey, we're BC Lions guys through and through. No shame in that.
That's right.
So
That's right.
So Kadeem Carey calls out Dave Dickinson and says, look at all these players that they let go. We're doing well. So the problem is Dave Dickinson in Calgary. So he's surprised that he's still there. So thoughts?
Oh, the Greg's got to go first on this one.
Okay, great.
Okay. To borrow Arthur's line, and this hurts you a little bit, but it's a 9-team league, and it's the sport of football. You got to maintain. I mean, and I can agree with Kerry Moore. I had the same thoughts, and I'm probably going to kick off a lot of Lions fans, but I had the same thoughts of Wally Bono. Look at how many Lions fans or Lions players get let go and do well elsewhere. Look at how many Lions coaches get let go and, well, okay, maybe not this current regime, but anyway, I digress. But no, you got to maintain a little bit of league decorum, shall we say, or industry decorum. Just say, hey, all these players that have been let go, we're doing well, and just leave it at that. And yes, I can't agree with Kerry Moore, and I'm happy that he's still there because that makes us Lions fans ecstatic that the dink and dunk Dickinson is still there. They can play dicky ball for the next decade for all I care. But no, Kerry's got to. I mean, okay, yeah, the emotions of the moment. He just won the Grey Cup. I mean, he toiled for all those years in Calgary, and I'm sure when he got let go, it stung, or maybe he wanted out of there. We don't know. So no, he should have just, again, kept industry decorum, kept it to, we're doing well now. Now that we're all together, we know what it takes, and just leave it there.
Yeah. Take the high road.
Dinwiddie, take the high road. Spin Dinwiddie is, taking what he learned in Calgary and then adding to it something. But no, don't throw a guy under a bus.
Yeah.
Because who knows? He could end up on another team with Dickinson.
Yeah.
You don't know.
Exactly.
9-team league.
9-team league.
So
that's done.
Morbital says exactly that, right? I don't like players talking about former coaches, completely unprofessional, and becoming of mentally mature, I guess unbecoming of mentally
Yeah.
mature athletes. Yeah. Okay. Arthur, thoughts?
Well, Kerry was. I mean, I understood why Dickinson did it because Mills and Logan kind of took over the prior year. And Kerry was like I think injured and or not performing well. And then in the off season, like Lions signed Stanback, Olet goes to Saskatchewan, and then like he was like the lone feature running back left, and then Toronto just took him. So I could see why he's a little jaded because he was maybe the reason why the Calgary was doing well for maybe not the we're talking about the prior year, not this past year, and then the years before he was the engine. So I think he probably thought that he deserved some loyalty. But I mean, all he needed to do was point to the records, right? I mean, Calgary is not doing well. Yeah, I don't.
I still think he should have taken a higher road than that one. Not even say Calgary. Just you know what?
Yeah, I don't think he should. I mean, he didn't. He didn't need to say anything. I mean, Calgary is doing really poor right now, and then Toronto just won 2 out of 3 years, right?
Yeah.
So and then they had a bit of an exodus of talent and coaches, and they still pulled it out. So
Yeah. I mean, just to add some additional context, in his interview, he said that he was let go because they said that he was can't stay healthy for the whole year because he was getting hurt, right? And then now,
he was getting hurt a lot.
yeah. But this year he was healthy for the whole season, and he says he attributes it to being in a team of people who play for each other and who cover each other.
nice to have the best O line in the league.
I was just going to say, nice to have an O-line to get away with a lot of holes. But anyway, we won't
Oh,
go there.
Gregory! Oh, Gregory!
Well, if we have time to talk about penalties, I'd love to. So we'll just keep the show going. It
All right.
is freezing out here. I may have to move because it is
Okay.
starting to get windy out here.
Okay, go ahead and move. I'll queue up the next question. So, Morbid mentioned this earlier, which is a good segue. So he whispers for later. Why hasn't Rick Campbell been fired yet? Okay, so the question actually, there's rumors. I think it was the Moj who put out an article saying that the Lions are going to have a meeting today, Monday, to talk about the future, and he thinks that Campbell's going to be gone because what's his name, the assistant GM.
Rick Maiden.
Yeah, Rig Maiden was declined to talk to Edmonton regarding a position there. So the fact that he declined probably means he's saying these are all rumors, right? That maybe there's already a plan for him to move up, and
No.
then if he moves up, then I think he also mentioned in the article that Buck Pierce as a head coach. Coming into BC. So thoughts on all of that? Rick Campbell moving, Buck Pierce coming in, thoughts. And people online, let us know your thoughts too.
Who first, Roland? You got to pick.
Me first?
Who's first? Who first?
Oh, okay. No, okay. Why don't you go first? Greg went first last, right? The last one.
Okay, so why hasn't Rick Campbell been fired? Is something called an operational salary cap in the league. So you only have X amount of dollars to spend on your operations staff, your management staff, coaches and management. So if they were to fire him, I'm not sure how the ramifications work. If they fire him, he still has another year on his contract. So he's on contract through the 2025 year.
Yeah, one more year, yeah.
So it will hamper their operations cap. That's why Edmonton hung on to Chris Jones so long, because it would hamstrung them in terms of an operations, right?
Yeah.
So I think that has something to do with it. But honestly, I think the Lions are just trying to secure their GM. And how, I think McAvoy's not going anywhere. I think that Moj article, he indicated, McAvoy probably gets into a vice president, or maybe he's going to be the president maybe, down the line as a succession plan. So they'll keep him there. And then Rig Maiden gets promoted potentially, right?
Yeah.
And then we'll see. So I think they need to solve that first, and then they talk about the head coach.
But
Maybe.
is your point that Campbell can't go anywhere for a year?
Well, I think it would hamper their operation salary cap. That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. Now, I don't know how big it is. There's just like things that you just don't know. Like in NHL, you know a lot more. In NFL, you know a lot more about these kind of numbers and that. But I was thinking is maybe Rick Campbell moves to Edmonton to get a promotion. Well, his promotion, he's co-GM and head coach. So if he gets the same kind of position, I don't know how that changes the salary cap, the operation salary cap, or the management salary cap with the Lions. So that's things I just don't know about this CBA with the CFL CBA. So I think it's delicate. If Campbell can get quote unquote promoted to go to Edmonton, it saves the Lions money, right?
Yeah.
And it saves them on the operations cap. So I think they're trying to work it out. They're probably maybe doing right by him and say, hey, you want to, So I think, and then Edmonton's in kind of Edmonton's also like they don't know if they're going to bring in Hervey.
Yeah.
And then Ed Hervey will probably bring in Rick Campbell, or they just bring in Rick Campbell to be the super boss. So we'll see.
Yeah.
I think all these things are kind of balls in the air.
So Mort Biddle has a good point. He goes, regardless of the operational cap, right? Like, what's the bigger cost? You take the hit on the operational cap or lost season ticket sales? Because if we keep losing games, that's going to be the cost, right?
Oh yeah,
So that's a good point. I guess
you can't I don't know, like the CFL, like for players, you can outspend the cap. It's a luxury tax.
It's a penalty, yeah.
I don't know if the operations you can outspend that.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, then you will just have less coaches.
Yeah, you can't hire the coaches because you don't.
You
have
can't
the
hire
money.
as many coaches.
Yeah.
So that's just something that to keep in mind. And there's just things I just don't know.
We should maybe tweet and ask one of the insiders, like Dave Naylor or Farhan. Maybe they might know.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good question. But yeah, I mean, notwithstanding the operational cap, I think we need a fresh head coach. So the second part of that question is Buck Pierce. What do you think of Buck Pierce as the head coach? Because that was in that rumor.
I prefer Corey Mace.
He's not in the market.
I know. I mean, that was last year. I mean, Saskatchewan had both of them, right? Who else is available? I mean, I saw the same article he mentioned, Orlando Steinhauer. I don't know if he's the president, right? I don't know if he would come.
I mean, they said that he might want to get back to coaching.
Yeah.
Morbido says, call Robert Saleh. Do it.
Oh, goodness. I guess of the guys that are rumored out there to be head coaches, might as well, maybe.
With Buck Pierce, even the way he played, the way Winnipeg played yesterday, the offense was so plain vanilla and yeah.
They had no answers, right?
Yeah, no answers. Yeah.
They needed the big play. They need Oliveira in the run game to set up the big play. So, without a consistent run threat, Toronto just falls back.
Yeah.
And they're just rotating. They're doing that D lineman rotation. They don't have to blitz much, and they're getting pressure.
Yeah.
They're getting penetration, and they're just disciplined. Their linebackers are disciplined. They took the underneath routes, and they were right on top of those checkdowns. So yeah, it was tough for Buck Pierce to get going. So I was joking with you, Roland. I said, "Hey, Buck Pierce, just keep some of those bullets in your in your holster for next year."
He kept too many bullets, so he might have lost the opportunity with his performance.
If you lose the battle but win the war, it's okay. So if his war is to become the Lions head coach, that's fine. You lose a battle here and there, it's okay as long as you win the war.
A Grey Cup ring would secure, would secure a head coach position.
He's already like with Corey Mace, like going on and getting hard with Saskatchewan. Then I think Buck Pierce probably knows he's in the top tier of the next head coach.
Yeah.
Yeah,
right.
I think I'll be okay with it.
Okay.
I'll be okay with it.
Okay. Greg, is Buck Pierce the right head coach for us?
Big sigh. We can ask for Dave Dickinson, Greg.
Nah, no.
I'm sure we'll be able to get him.
Don't leave here. Is Buck Pierce the right coach for this team? Okay. So we got to get the Grey Cup out of the Grey Cup out of the way. You got to look at his whole body of work as an offensive coordinator. If the question was, would I take him here as an OC over the one we have? Yes, definitely. As a head coach, I'm not sure. I don't know if Buck can command a room. Corey Mace, again, defense is a little different. I like the defensive side of the game of football. Corey Mace has that. He has a presence. He's got a bit of a bark. I don't know if Buck has. I don't know if bringing Buck in is the same level of intensity that the coach that we already have has. So my answer, I don't think so. But again, you look at what's out there, kind of like our political horizon in this country. You look what's out there. I don't think there's much to choose from. Right? I mean,
Yeah.
there's, if Jordan Younger was available, maybe. But then again,
he's probably available. Well,
but his defense is short. Well, his defense was shredded, but again, look at the positions the offense put him in.
yeah.
But
It was.
I know. I mean, there's a whole pile of contributing factors. I mean, as coordinators, they've had their. I mean, they've got, a proven track record, a good body of work. But I don't know if Buck. I'm sure players will play for him, but I don't know if Buck's the right.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could see him as a head coach here because we need a whole. And I don't want to play on the word that with the fear that they used in the locker room for their camaraderie, but the culture here has got to change. It's got to change here. It's too, I don't know, too much fun. I mean, I love RP and his dancing and all that with the players when they do something like a big play on D, which is way too far and too between. But too many times RP look lost or frustrated or exasperated on the sidelines for whatever reason. I don't know. You need somebody that can just shake up the players, shake up the room, and just say, "Hey, get your heads back in the game," or something like that. Yeah, so I don't know if Buck has that.
So Morbital says, "What's Jay Prepchuk doing?" And he also says,
I can tell you what Jay's doing.
What's he doing?
Jay's running his quarterback camp. He's doing quite well. And Farhan in wow, Morbital. The Hayeks didn't do that well this year, I don't think. But anyway, I could be wrong.
All right. And then Morbital, I guess he's half joking. Call Farhan with the Hayeks. Okay, next one. He's not joking. Okay, hear me out. Mike O'Shea. We poach him like we did with Wally. Pressure is on after another failure. So another failure with Winnipeg. So pressure is on. He's gonna have to produce.
Oh.
I mean.
Oh,
this is tough to take, Greg.
I was liking you more. I raised the cup to you twice today, man.
All right, this is where it goes. This is where it goes. All right, Greg. If we hire O'Shea and we win a Grey Cup, 2025, guaranteed, would you hire Mike O'Shea? If I told you hire him and the Lions will win a Grey Cup.
I mean, if it's guaranteed, we're going to hire anyone, right?
No. I'm asking Greg. I'm asking Greg.
You said
I know you'll say yes. Greg, what will you say?
Greg, it's guaranteed. We'll hire anyone. You can hold
Greg,
your nose.
you wearing a jersey?
Hold your nose, and
am I wearing a jersey?
No, you're not. Oh, you have your hoodie.
I got my Lions T-shirt on because it's darn cold out on the deck here. Oh, do I hire Mike O'Shea?
See, look at that, Greg.
Okay.
No,
That's why I asked you the tough
Oh, he
question.
said
No.
no. He said no.
You
So
said no. You would
Yeah,
lose. You would
I'm
lose.
thinking
You
with my
would
heart here.
purposely lose just so we don't. Yeah. Okay. That's fine. All good,
Because
Greg.
again, I mean, Mike O'Shea, he's kind of like Wally. When Wally got here, right? We didn't do as well as they did in Calgary. Why? Because they had better talent scouts in Calgary. They had better coordinators in Calgary. Wally has always said, just like the Don, God rest his soul, Don Matthews said, you surround yourself with good staff. And I'm sorry, the staff that Rick Campbell has around him right now, as much as I like Darby as a player, and as much as I think he's a fun coach, they're not good enough. And Mike O'Shea had Buck Pierce, and he had has Jordan Younger. They were good players, and they were able to bring their playing experience to the coordinating table. Jordan McSimmet, I don't think he's played anything past junior football. I don't even know. But again, I don't think it's O'Shea on his own coming here would do it. And again, I'm thinking
He's not keeping our coordinators. He's cleaning house. He's cleaning house.
Yeah.
You know
right,
that.
But whatever. Yeah. He's not gonna bring Pierce and Younger. And even if he did, I don't want him here. Sorry. I respect Normantal and all his dreams.
Greg already answered. He'd rather lose the Grey Cup than
rather
have
lose.
Wow.
Wow, Greg.
All right.
You gotta turn in that Lions fan card, man. Wow.
All right. Another comment from Morbital. Continuing on. So Morbital says, I hated Wally when he was with Calgary, a thorn on our side. When we hired him, all I was thinking was how things went down when the Canucks hired Keenan.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
But, I mean, there's...
Can I answer to Morbital's comment there?
Okay, sure, yeah.
Real quick, I was working with the Lions. They split Danny Barrett for Doug Flutie. When Doug Flutie was here, we could not beat the Calgary Stampeders. Danny Barrett and those Stampeders, they rolled over us. And then I remember Bob Obilovich saying, when we had Coach Obi here, yeah, we can win without him. So Flutie 1-for-1 Danny Barrett, right? The quarterback. You give Flutie better receivers and better coordinators than we had here. Then look what happened in Calgary. And I think Doug Flutie, those players and coordinators gave Wally the luster that he got as towards his record. That's just my opinion, but and I think the same thing would happen here if we brought O'Shea here. And I don't like O'Shea, and I don't want him here. Sorry, I had to say that one more time.
Okay, great.
Really?
Clear. But
really,
on arguments on the flip side, he was able to build a strong team. They're okay. We said they're not a dynasty, a CFL dynasty, but they are a Western dynasty. So that he had a big hand in that, right? Put the right pieces in, put the right players, put the right coordinators. He knows put the right winning attitude, right? One thing that we've seen Winnipeg have over the last few years is that they don't get scared, right? They know that they can do it. They have that belief.
Apart from the fourth quarter and last three Grey Cups, but I digress.
Yeah, I mean, so for whatever reason they couldn't get over the last 3 years, right?
I do. I loved it.
But other than that, I mean, look how they started this year. They started like, and we said we wrote them off. Right? Yeah, we wrote them off. We said that it finally hit them. All the veterans are too old, too slow. They've hit them, and they proved us wrong. They turned the season around and ended up first in the West, right?
Well, their young guys totally outperformed our young guys.
Exactly.
That's what they retooled much better than we did.
And I think he had a hand in that, right?
Definitely.
So I think it's worth exploring. I think. Okay, Morbital says they're in the conversation every year. That's all I want as a Lions fan. Same as my 49ers.
Hold it, Arthur. Hold it.
SP losses and all. It's better than what my San Jose Sharks have become. Oh, okay, you're a Sharks fan. Okay.
He loves the Bay Area. Give him that.
True. Yeah.
Golden State Warriors fan by any chance?
Was that a dynasty? I would say so. But anyway, never mind. We dealt with that.
Yeah. So Mike O'Shea. The other one that was in the list from Woj was Paul LaPolice. Thoughts on that?
Okay. Again, love him on TSN. Love him on his podcast. But we've seen his record as a head coach.
Yeah.
Ottawa and Winnipeg, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great coordinator, but maybe
Arthur.
again, that's the Buck Pierce one. Great coordinator, but not sure.
Arthur, do you concur?
Yeah, I concur, as it pains
Yeah.
me to always agree with Greg. I think these guys are like second or third tier guys. No
Yeah.
offense, but
Yeah.
I'd rather have someone who's like a top tier. I mean, I remember when we were looking for a head coach, and then Rick Campbell became available. You could say when Rick Campbell was available, he was more of a top tier than these two guys are right now.
Yeah.
Well, it's also a great cup in his pocket, right?
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I just don't see, because you don't know as I mean, you can just judge them as a coordinator. You don't know how they are as the head guy, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So Morbital, answering your question, Sharks and Canucks. PHX Suns fan.
Phoenix
Suns,
Suns.
okay.
Okay. My late father grew up in Bay Area, born in Regina. Okay. And used to go to 49ers games. Kezar. I don't know I don't know what a Kezar is.
Maybe.
So let me guess, he's a Phoenix Suns fan because of Steve Nash? Just asking.
Okay. Okay. So VC Lions, 49ers, Suns, Sharks, Canucks number 2, and Mariners.
Wow. I like that.
Yeah. That's nice.
He's an honest man, Arthur.
So, Corey May's question to you guys: before he became a head coach, was he on the defense side or on the offense side?
Yeah, he was Toronto's defensive coordinator.
Defense.
He was Calgary's defensive coordinator.
Yep.
Moved to Toronto.
No, he was Calgary's D-line coach.
D-line coach,
not
yeah.
coordinator.
Yeah. And then.
He went from D-line coach to Toronto.
Oh yeah, got it. Yeah, candlestick. Now
Okay.
it's whatever they call it. It's in Santa Clara. It's like what's that?
Levi
Okay.
Stadium.
Yeah, Levi Stadium.
Okay. So the reason I ask is, we're looking at, Buck Pierce, Paul LaPolice. Those are all offensive guys. And we saw yesterday, and we've known this, defense wins championships. And yesterday it was Toronto's defense that won them the Grey Cup, right? And we know through the last couple of years, our defense is weak, right? Our offense, yeah, we've got problems on the offense, but I think our defense is a lot weaker. And whoever we bring in, if we bring in another offensive guy, it's not going to help on the defense. So, is there a head coach that's on the defense? Morbital following up still, and Suns fan because of Charles Barkley, helped on by Steve Nash.
Oh, okay. All right.
All right. So,
Charles
question.
Barkley, yeah, now there's a guy I'd take as a head coach here.
So,
I'd take Charles Barkley over Mike O'Shea.
Oh, I thought you can talk about Steve Nash.
is there
No.
So, question: is there a defensive guru that we can get?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Well, like I said, I'd look at Jordan Younger before I look at Buck Pierce. But again, you don't know if those guys have the room presence that a head coach needs. Because sometimes a head coach needs to be not bad cop. He needs to be a-hole cop, right? And I don't think we've had that here in a while. I mean, Wally, I think there's more his mystique than his attitude. I don't know. We need a heavy-handed coach here. So, that's just what I think we miss him.
Okay, Morbital says, have family in Arizona too. And then he goes, hire Vanni Sartini, reverse Ted Lasso. I don't know who Vanni Sartini is, but I'm guessing he's a soccer coach.
He's the Whitecaps.
Okay.
C coach or manager.
I mean, I love the show Ted Lasso. I love his character. But getting a soccer guy to coach football, I don't know about that. But maybe the culture
That's
stuff.
another podcast.
The culture stuff. That's what
Mortal.
Ted Lasso did, right?
More the ball for you. Adiamo. Andiamo. That's what Vanni Sartini says. Yeah, he's Italian.
Okay.
So, I mean, do we? Okay, so you know how that other league that Arthur loves so much plucks coaches out of the college ranks. Don't think we have that luxury here in this country because there's not enough
Yeah. Not enough.
C-sport coaches that can.
Yeah. Well, we can poach college coaches down south.
If they have the openness to adapt to this game, because we've tried that. We've tried to bring the other league coaches up here, and they to them they are too damn stubborn to adapt to the Canadian game.
It's hard. Yeah.
It's a learning curve, and
is, yeah.
the pay cut's pretty dramatic, right, Greg?
Yeah, because even at the college level down there is you're living quite nice. Like
Yeah.
Nick Saban, when I saw an interview with him at his house, oh yeah.
Blake says, "Guys, I'm sad."
But the player that we will not name did not play the game, Blake. The player that shall not be named did not play.
Which player are you referring to?
Come on. The player that shall not be named. That's what those guys will say.
All right.
Yeah.
The injured guy, the guy who broke his leg. Is that your okay?
Yes. So.
Well,
why would that make?
What happened if that player played?
They may have lost.
Yeah, they could very well have.
They may have lost.
Well, think about it. He's got a different attitude than Arbuckle, right? Arbuckle was there to. Oh, I'm happy about that. I'm sad because
CFL is over. Yes, I'm sad about that too. Yeah.
We should ask Blake my question. We should ask Blake my question.
Okay. What was your question? Okay, Blake, you got a question.
We hire Mark O'Shea, and it's a guarantee win for the Lions for the 2025 Grey Cup. Would you do it, Blake? Would you hire Mike O'Shea as the super boss for the BC Lions if it's guaranteed the Lions win the Grey Cup next year?
Okay. Let's see what Blake says. We know what Greg said.
Come on, Blake. Don't let me down, buddy. We have a Ladner connection, man. Don't let me
down.
Oh,
Blake says no. Oh.
You don't bleed orange, Blake. You don't bleed orange.
I can't believe these guys both.
No, he does. He does bleed orange. That's why we don't want any blue and gold here.
He goes, RP or Pierce. RP?
We just talked about Pierce. I don't know if you were here when we. I mean, Pierce. Yeah, Pierce is an offensive guy. We need to fix on our defense. So RP. I mean, our RP is responsible for where our defense is right now.
Blake, I mean, are you really sad? Like, you're in depression. I mean, should we send someone over to do a wellness check, please?
Blake's fine. Blake is just fine.
Morbiddle says,
defensive guy out there. Oh, go ahead, Ro.
Morbiddle is asking, is there any up-and-coming dynamic coaches in youth sports? I don't know.
That's what I said. I don't think there is. Yeah. It's a very limited pool out there.
Blake will know. Blake will know.
Blake
maybe
says
the
yes.
Laval Rouge guy or something. I mean,
yeah, Blake knows. Blake follows youth sports, right? Yeah.
We should ask Blake, who does he want as the next head coach of the BC Lions? Or even general manager as well. Looks like it's Rick Maiden.
Oh, he gets bring Farhan out of retirement. So Morbiddle said that too. So we got both Blake and Morbiddle suggesting Farhan. Although Morbiddle had a half smiley face, so I'm not sure whether that was a serious comment or not.
Wow. Farhan. All right.
Yeah. I know. So CFL is over.
You guys, what about no? You know what? I just thought he's from the same coaching tree as RP. I was going to suggest Mark Washington, but no, I'm not going there. As much as I like Mark as a guy. No, we're okay.
Morbiddle says Farhan would go all in. To be fair, not sure it would work. Blake says I'm dead serious. Farhan is a winner. That'd be interesting. Yeah, but does that translate? I mean, so Farhan coached the New West Secondary, right?
Yep. My alma mater.
Yeah. How does that translate, though? I mean, seriously, this high school versus CFL.
without ever having gone through the college ranks. I mean, you're talking two
Yeah,
different mentalities in a room.
exactly. Yeah, different levels of skill too, right? So certain plays work in high school just because of people's physical development and mental development. When you're in the CFL, it's different, right? So I mean,
Okay, here's one. Here's one. How about bringing Matt Dunnigan out of bringing him out of the booth, or
but
you
he's
know?
You remember that 1 or 2 seasons in Calgary there, Greg?
Yeah, yeah, I do.
See,
Yep.
with forehand, okay, at least for all I can say is he probably knows what a winner looks like,
yeah,
right? He's been a student of the CFL game. He's a big proponent of the CFL,
yeah,
so he knows a lot of people. He's probably had a lot of conversations. So I think that he would bring in a fresh face. From a personality, he's a good man. He will
yeah,
sell. He will to sell the team to the local market. So there's a lot of good tangible and intangible things he would bring to the table.
yeah.
X's and O's. I mean, I don't
Because
know, right? I just don't know. Not to say good or bad, I just don't know. So I have
yeah,
no comment. But just all the tangibles and intangibles he could bring, I could see. I could see his name being put forward, just internally. But it's just a question is, will the owner, will the president want to go down that way? Because there
it's a
would be
risk.
potentially a learning curve.
I mean, maybe bring him in as a coordinator first, and then you
I
know.
think he's probably more of a like an assistant GM type than a head
Okay,
coach. But maybe he wants to coach. Yeah. So I don't know.
yeah. So Morbiddle says John Lynch to GM and Windsor Dukes for life.
Wow. Okay. Norbertal. What a boy.
Blake says U Sports. Talking
Oh,
about
Blake
U
Mills. Yeah.
Sports has Blake
Yeah.
Neal in our backyard, but I highly doubt he'd want a CFL job. How come?
Yeah.
Wouldn't isn't he? Why would he not want a CFL job?
I think that he's fairly comfortable where he is. I think he's Thunderbirds coach. Had his dynasty run in Calgary. Came over here. Turned this program around after a little bit of a lull. Um, Correct me if I'm wrong, Blake, but yeah, the T-Birds went through a little bit of a lull after Chuck's left, and yeah, I think that's kind of like making a jump he doesn't want to do.
Okay. All right. It's 9:48. Yeah, I'm sad too. CFL is over. No more games. So we're just gonna be rehashing stuff. We still have a few episodes we want to talk about. Deep dive into different positional groups in the BC Lions.
Absolutely.
What we want fixed after this season. There's going to be lots of talk. Hopefully by this week, maybe even by Wednesday, about the changes to the team. So we're going to be talking about that too. But yeah, can't wait until the season starts. Blake says they won the Vanier in 2015, I believe, and lost in the Vanier game last year. Yeah.
But that's
So
with Blake Neal coming back, so he's a winner. That's true. He
yeah,
never beat him when he was in Calgary. I'm talking university level.
yeah. All right. So that's our plan, I guess, for the next few weeks. If we get some news about what changes are coming up for the Lions, we'll talk about that. Otherwise, we'll start queuing up deep dives into different positional groups on the Lions and what we want to see changed there. Morbiddle goes hire Tim Albin, Ohio coach of Nathan.
Hmm.
Yeah, the thing
Again,
with
you're looking at an NCAA wanting to come up there, but that's a good idea, Morgan. I like it.
Yeah.
I like his thoughts. Something's
But-
got to get Nathan. If Nathan's still here, which we'll discuss, I'm sure, in another.
If
is he gonna
Nathan
be
is
here?
still here, oh boy, you got a prediction, Greg?
Not saying anything. I have no inside scoops. Nothing. I mean, I'm out here in the middle of nowhere right now.
Blake asked, did he coach Curtis too?
I think for a little. Then Curtis went to
Before Curtis, Indiana,
Yeah,
and look at how he's doing.
yeah. Morbiddle says he was Nathan's OC. Yeah.
Hey, Roland, don't worry about football. Just
Here we go.
2 hours south from here by car. The
Here we
NFC
go.
West is there's one team at 6-4 and 3 teams at 5-5, including Morbital's favorite 49ers team. So
All right.
it's going to be a dogfight in the NFC West, and Greg and I will convert you, indoctrinate you as a Seahawks fan.
Arthur's trying to convert me to the NFL. Okay, we'll see. We'll see. I just watching the NFL is just anyway. Okay, Blake says I do. Greg, Nathan isn't going anywhere. I forgot the question.
Okay,
Greg's
that's
Nathan.
Blake's prediction. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, Rourke is not. Rourke is staying, man.
Yeah, he's staying. Blake says who we beat. Morbital says meaningful football for months still. Okay.
Yeah, Morbital. There you
that's
go.
the NFL fan with Arthur.
Well, Greg is an
Unfortunately,
NFL fan now. Once his Grey
Okay.
Cup is played, right, Greg? You switch
Okay,
over.
okay.
I'm-
Let's not go that far. I am not an NFL fan. I am a game of football fan. I am not an NFL fan. That league has a lot of things that I would change. But
Yeah, a lot of things make me cringe. Like the holding up their hand and then catching the ball.
fair catch.
Yeah.
But anyway,
I mean, the kickoff
they
rules
tried
have
to
changed.
fix that. I'll
So
give them that. They tried to fix that this year.
yeah, kickoff rules have changed. But I hear that people are still kicking it out of the end zone anyway.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Yeah, sometimes, but
Okay.
they're trying to kick it under inside the 5-yard line. So.
Okay. Morbidon says, I follow way too many sports. I have a problem. Okay. Blake says, I always cheer for the Hawks, but it's not the same. Yeah, I think I'm going to be the same as Blake. It's just I don't have an emotional connection to these. And then, all the differences just makes me, the 4 downs, it's like, it's too easy. It's way
There
too
you go.
easy.
Okay, there's
Too
another episode
easy.
there.
Yeah,
Too easy.
Too easy, yes. We got to get a first down in 3, not 4. 4 is like so easy.
There's
You
an
know what's
episode we've
you know
got
what's
for
too
right
easy, Roland? You win the
Making the
you
playoffs
win
in a
you
19
win
days.
one division. Either it's a 5-team division or a 4-team division. You play one game at home and you're in the Grey Cup final. That's easy.
Well, I mean, that can
Not
be
throwing
fixed.
a peg, not throwing a peg.
That can be fixed by growing the league. But these are rules. 3 downs versus 4 downs. That's in the rules. You can't change that. So
Another
anyway,
episode.
but I think because of my football withdrawal, CFL withdrawal, I probably will end up watching NFL games. But I'm just going to be cringing inside.
Don't worry. There's no those weirdo kick rules and rouges. It's more straightforward.
Yeah. Boring.
I'm with you, Roland. It's boring.
Marvelous says, I want 15
Run,
teams in CFL.
run,
Yes,
run.
I do too. All in Canada. That's a discussion for another time. Yes, over some beers.
15 teams.
15
oh my
teams.
goodness. You're gonna have that
We're-
one in Victoria. You're gonna need
Yeah.
one like 4 in the
Kamloops.
greater Toronto area. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we know how Ontario supports the CFL.
Yeah,
Well,
they go to the Bills. They go to the Bills games.
Yeah, there you go. So,
But I hear you, Marv.
I shouldn't say that. No, I shouldn't say that. We know how Toronto supports the CFL.
Yeah.
Hamilton and Ottawa do just fine.
Yeah. But I hear you, Marvital. One of the things we talked about doing last year, which we haven't done yet, and maybe we'll try to start doing this season, is to do a football 101 series where we're just going to go through the basics of Canadian football. Lots of new people came in to BC Place this year because of what Doman did, and the club as a whole did really well. Lots of new people coming in to watch 50 Cent or whoever, and then they see the game and then they don't know the rules. So if we can do some sort of football 101, I think that would help. Yes, the Rouge, Blake. Yes, for sure. We will have dedicate a few episodes on that. Arthur. That's all right, Arthur. You can skip that. Those
As long as they concede the point, that's fine. As long as it's conceded, I'm fine. I'm with Greg. As long as they concede the Rouge, I'm okay with the Rouge.
Yeah, because you should be penalized for no difference in a safety. You retreat into your end zone and you willingly are retreating,
Yeah.
and they stop it. You give up 2. Well, if you concede, you should give up something.
Yeah.
yeah,
Exactly.
Lucky conceded it yesterday.
Oh, Blake, come
That's a
on, come on.
double meaning. That's a double meaning. Yes.
Oh,
Okay,
that
okay.
hurts. That hurts.
If they had been on if they had been on that fan cruise with Lucky, they wouldn't have. Oh, that's I got to give Blake a flag for piling on. Poor Lucky.
That's
Yeah.
roughing
It
the
is.
Yeah.
guy.
It is tough. Yeah. It is tough. I like him too, but that was a tough thing yesterday.
Look at the immediate fan engagement and reaction he got when he re-signed in Winnipeg. I mean, it's he puts he's a good face for your team.
Yeah.
You know.
All right, 9:56. Let's call it a night. Good discussion. Thanks, guys, online for chatting with us. If you watched this show after we finished the live stream, let us know in the comments too. And yeah, we'll catch you next time. Oh, one more comment from Blake. Who's more popular in Winnipeg, him or Strevler? Oh, him as in Lucky or Strevler? I think Strevler's still more popular in Winnipeg. That's my feel. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Because you don't see Lucky going around in the middle of winter with no shirt on.
I'm sure Shrevler is gonna be more popular right now.
Oh yeah, they are.
Especially with
Yeah.
Zach having that injured finger and then not producing in the fourth quarter, the backup quarterback who was injured. Yeah.
Yeah. If Stravler was there, it went. Who knows?
No, I don't think he could pass their way out of
Yeah,
that's the
that's
thing.
right. But
No,
yeah,
no.
but he could run.
And I can't believe he couldn't run his way. No, if you put him in that game yesterday, no, he's not beating Toronto.
Yeah. All right, 9:57. Let's end it here. Thanks, guys. Have a great evening. We'll see you next time. Okay.
You betcha. We'll see you guys next week.
Okay.
See ya.
Take care. All right. Bye bye.
Bye bye, guys.
Go Lions.
Go Lions.
Go Lions.